This is Parker Brisebois, Parker Thomas Brisebois, first of his name, and you are watching the Iridescent second ever episode of 6 Feet Apart with Exceptional Humans. The exceptional human I have here today was actually the first ever guest I wanted to have on this show. His name is John Paul Campbell. John Paul Campbell, thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Today's episode is brought to you by our sponsor, Austin Wagner Real Estate, where friends are family. JP, excellent shirt. Thank you for swagging out for the show.
Thank you.
A lot of layabouts just come in t-shirts and basketball shorts, you know. I'm glad that you're raising the bar for the show for us because we desperately need an injection of class here at the Iridescent. JP, what inspires you?
Gosh, what inspires me is definitely, I would have to say myself.
Yeah.
I inspire myself just because I come from a background of not knowing my parents and just being in the system, the foster care system, and always just believing in myself is, I've kind of always self-inspired myself to do the right thing and get to the next part of my life.
You're a self-starter who inspires yourself because that's what you've had to fall back on through it all. That's pretty fucking cool, man. A lot of us easily forget the privileges we have of having a two-parent home, things like that, stable upbringing. I certainly do. So yeah, that's inspiring. That's something that's privilege I don't check on myself very often, and I think everybody could be serviced by doing that more than once a week. JP, you just got engaged.
I did.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I'm very happy. Mm-hmm. Bella is just a great girl. She's very kind, caring, and beautiful. It's my favorite part. And
nice.
It feels nice to find somebody that you're going to spend the rest of your life with, and
sure.
She gets you and I get her. So
yeah, I plan to spend the rest of my life with Jill. How long were you guys dating before y'all got?
Let's see. We met 2013, probably 2 months after my second year of college. So it's been almost 7 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was an outstanding bet with her girlfriends that it would take me 7 years.
Oh really?
I beat it by 2 months. So.
Shit! Did you know about that bet?
I did know about that bet. Did not influence my decision, but it was in the back of my head.
Okay. You weren't like shaving points. You weren't gonna get a cut if you flopped or anything. Nothing like that. That would be the controversy of the decade. None of the other stuff that's going on in this decade. It would have been the point shaving scandal of your.
That's right.
Proposal timing. So, as you're an engaged man, you know, somebody who's about to enter into the wide world of marital bliss. When is the wedding, by the way? Do you guys have a date?
We've got a few dates swirling around. Won't give any trade secrets away, but we were thinking sometime in the fall next year.
Sometime in fall next year. Okay. Hopefully COVID's all cleared up. Because I hope that's going to be a big-ass banger wedding. You know?
Yeah.
You're going to get live music. You're going to get Coldplay and Cardi B.
You know, I won't go into any particulars. I want it to be a surprise, but definitely we wrote down our essential weddings, and they are completely different. So it is quite the process, but I would definitely say it's been a learning curve for me just to kind of simmer down and, you know, understand what she wants. So
cool. So it's going to be the Venn diagram. So that brings us to more of a meta question. Institution of marriage. Strongest it will ever be, or even stronger than that?
The institution of marriage.
Yeah.
I would say it's individually based. For me personally, if I'm bending the knee to Bella, I'm gonna make it the strongest relationship it's ever gonna be.
Yeah.
Every single day. But I don't know, just from looking at other people or reading things online, I just think it's individually based.
Yeah, for sure. And you're the self-motivated man, so you're gonna define that for yourself. Because, you know, I don't know. I guess marriage is some shit. I'm 26. You're 26, right? Too.
Yes. I just turned 26 on the 2nd.
I got people happy belated.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got people getting married all around me now, and I'm kind of sitting here thinking, like, God damn, that seems like a long way off for me personally.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I admire your ability to commit to something like that, especially something that's been around since fucking Jesus walked the earth with the dinosaurs. You know.
That's right.
Marriage has been around a long time. So what do you do for work?
I like to call myself a corkscrew salesman. Now, that's not necessarily what I do every single day, but I do sell wholesale wine accessories, bar supplies, and beer accessories. So that's what I do every single day. I sell to different stores, from their small mom and pop liquor shop all the way up to like
Nice.
your Targets and Walmarts. So
Nice. So you dial for dollars here.
dial for dollars. That's what
Nice.
that's the motto I live by.
That's dope. You work from home. Do you love it or what?
I love it. I haven't necessarily had a job I didn't love. I've
Really?
always said to myself, if someone hires me, they get 115% of me.
Wow.
So, if you decide to hire me one day, I'm your man.
Dude, holy shit. I feel like this interview could be your stock job interview.
That's
You're
right.
saying all the right things, man. Especially coming onto a show of a notorious job hater. You said you haven't had a job you don't like? Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had a job I really like. You know?
Yeah, it just depends, but I think I go into every single job, no matter what it is, just thinking, if they've hired me and they've decided to give me a paycheck,
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and hold up my end of the bargain and give them 115% of myself.
All right. Well, all right. I mean, you're a company man, dude. Your boss watches this and they're gonna be stoked. But
That's right.
I want to ask you a hard hitting question. I want you to be able to talk some shit, because that's 95% of what we do here.
Sure.
What's your least favorite part of that job?
Least favorite part is probably going to be the complaining. I don't like listening to complaining.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you like this show then?
I like this show because you bring out an aspect of me that is living in here and not out here.
Okay. All right. Because you don't do any complaining. You're not about the complaining.
I'll complain, but I won't be over the top where someone's like, man, this guy's a drag. But I will complain, but I try not to. I really try not to.
So your least favorite part of the job is fucking customers complaining, or
The people I work with complaining.
Oh, got
Now,
it.
if you're watching this and you work with me, I love you.
Right. But you're the positive force in the room.
I try to be.
You're the fucking drumbeat of the institution. You're the energizer, Buzzy. Love it. Cool. So are you gonna break into the 1% doing that? Are you gonna get rich as fuck selling corkscrews?
Well, I've got this book here. It's called Everyday Millionaires.
Oh, who's that by?
It's by Chris Hogan,
Chris
not to be
Hogan.
related to the famous Patriots receiver.
Let me get that. This is what my guest is plugging today.
Chris Hogan, Everyday Millionaires.
Everyday Millionaires. All right, give me the synopsis. Give me the spark.
Well,
notes.
in this book, he talked about you don't necessarily need to be the 1% to be a millionaire.
True.
It's a collection of all your assets. And he said, I think maybe, I'm not going to quote any statistics here, but majority of the people that are millionaires, their biggest asset is their home. And
Got
so
it.
that's how he's calculating. So
Oh, okay. So have a nice house, a couple, 100,000 in the bank, and you're a millionaire. And
Yeah.
you're a millionaire in all the ways that matter.
your
So
401k, things like that.
Yeah, hell yeah. Your car. Well, I guess cars like steadily depreciate.
Cars get
right?
down.
Yeah.
But I'd buy it for top dollar.
Yeah, hell yeah, you would. Big spender, JP. Nice. That's an interesting mindset to approaching like success and wealth. I suppose you could even say it's the responsible one, because a lot of this show we get into a little bit of eat the rich sentiment. We talk about giant billionaire CEOs and shit.
Yeah.
And I feel like part of the American dream is this lie that you or I or whoever, just self-starting people, if we just bust our balls working at whatever job we're doing or finally getting donations from people on the internet, we'll get there one day. You know?
Right.
It's the whole pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and whatever it is you're doing, as long as you're diligent and earnest and you got integrity, you'll get there.
Right.
And that's just obviously not the case, and I feel like a lot of people get frustrated by that reality. But maybe having a more realistic mindset, like our friend Mr. Hogan, is what's called for.
Yeah, it definitely was eye-opening for me.
Yeah, and that's a more ethical approach to wealth, because at a certain point you just don't need that much more, right?
Exactly.
Right. So what was your favorite job ever then? You said you've liked every job you've ever done.
Favorite one is definitely Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Enterprise
That's my favorite job. Yeah.
All right. Why did you love that? I mean, you're a salesman through and through. You love this shit, it seems.
Yeah, I would say early on after college, just sales for me was always felt natural.
Okay.
But I learned through a few jobs that relationship selling was my favorite type of selling.
Relationship selling for the Luddites and the novices out there. Can you explain that a little bit?
So there are sales where I'll sell you this can for a certain amount of money.
I love Michelob Ultra.
Michelob Ultra. Sell it to you for top dollar. You'll get home, that can's empty, and you won't be able to find me ever again. And I've done sales like that. But relationship selling is where I sell you this can. I call you, say, hey, how'd you like that can? And if you had any problems, I'm your guy. If you want another can, I'm your guy. So I stay in contact with you, and I continue to either sell to you, help you out, or if you didn't like the product.
So relationship selling is an ongoing. It's a dynamic process. It's not a check the box.
It's not a turn and
get
burn.
the hell out of there.
Yeah.
You turn and burn. Dude, shit. That was the job I just had. Was a bit of turn and burning. You know, at the old Granger.
Granger.
Yeah. Wow. Turn and burn
For the ones who get it done.
Or whatever. Not for me. I don't get it done. So what do you do when you're not selling your time?
Usually I'm hanging out with Belle at home. You know, we're watching one of the shows we're into now is Bones. It's a very good show.
Yeah, all right. Never seen it. That's a crime show, right?
It's a crime fighting show with a forensic anthropologist.
Oh, that's cool.
And an FBI guy.
Edgy, sexy.
That's right, edgy.
Love it.
And it's a good show. We definitely enjoy watching TV. We'll hang out with a lot of people, and it does get overwhelming. I will say that.
Always socially distanced, though, right?
Always socially distanced.
6 feet apart.
Even being socially distanced and COVID and all that, it's still overwhelming. We got a lot of people we have to invest in. So.
Social butterflies, really?
Yeah, it's surprising. So, but I enjoy it, and I think us being on the younger scale of life, I think it's great to just have a bunch of people that we love.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! I'd go stir crazy if I didn't have peeps to reach out to. That's part of the reason I started doing interviews. Okay, well, moving on to sports. You're a football fan, right?
I am a football fan.
Who's your team?
New England Patriots. But for the next 2 years, I'll be rooting for the Buccaneers.
So that brings me to the real hard-hitting question. Are you a Patriots fan or are you a Tom Brady fan?
I am a Patriots fan, but I always enjoy rooting for the players more than the team.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like those used to be kind of one and the same.
Yeah.
Classically, the way people think about sports is, Lance Allworth. Do you know who Lance Allworth is?
I don't.
Bambi? Little white guy receiver. He's like the ancient dinosaur ancestor of Wes Welker.
Okay.
And he played for the Chargers. He was one of my inspirations. LaDainian Tomlinson. I'm thinking of Chargers here now, right? Those are guys who played for the team, and they're thought of as Charger greats, you know?
Yeah.
And they were one and the same. If you like the Chargers, you like those players. Now it's a little bit more of I think the sort of cynical reality of professional sports is that these guys are doing it to make a fucking living.
Yeah.
And they're not going to just, play for your mascot because you love them so much. You're just a snot-nosed little kid who's watching TV.
That's right.
So they got to go make a buck and do what they got to do. Although Tom, your boy Tom, he's a little different in that respect. Wasn't he taking pay cuts for ever? So
I think
for Satan. I think
Brady's done a pretty good job staying even keeled throughout his career. I think him taking pay cuts, wanting to be a Patriot, something that it's inspiring.
Yeah.
Similar with Kobe.
True. Yeah. Very much. Rest in power, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
What hairstyle of Tom Brady's was the perfect Tom Brady?
2010, long hair.
Long hair?
Yeah.
Lettuce? Nice, dude.
I loved it.
Nice. Excellent answer, man. You're fucking nailing it. Do you enjoy gambling?
I've only been gambling one time.
One time.
And I am up $300. That's
really?
Right. I am up in my life $300.
Holy shit, dude.
That's right.
You are part of the 1%. The 1% of people who are up in their life in gambling.
I never have liked gambling. I never saw myself ever doing it. But my best friend Tyler is his best man, and we threw him a bachelor party.
Okay.
In Tahoe, and you can go across the border, and there's some casinos because you're right there on the border of Nevada.
Sure, yeah.
And we went there, and every guy said, "You know what? We're going to take $100 out, and we're just going to play with this $100. And slowly I would watch them, and when they earned more, like when they got to 200, they took their $100 and they went right back to the teller and just cashed it back and put the money back in their wallet. And I was like, that's so smart, because you'll never lose your money.
Yeah, I mean, not never, but
like,
that's the
like if you get up ahead, you give your money back, and there I know safe. I'm just playing with fun money.
That reminds me of a story, a personal anecdote from my father, who used to work in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
and he told me that he would gamble, play whatever it is he played, and after he got up a certain amount, he would go buy himself a pair of shoes or something. He would put that money that he won into a material thing that he couldn't gamble away. Yeah. So that way, you know, he got the thrill of winning and gambling, and he got to eat his cake by buying some material good that he wanted and wasn't going to be able to lose in the form of chips after certain cards get flipped on the table in the wrong order.
That's pretty smart.
I think so. That looks delicious, by the way.
Dude, long night last night.
That reminds me, did you want to plug our product placement here? We got some stuff.
Don't butcher me on the name. I think it's Vive Clou.
That says Veuve Clicquot.
Clicquot.
Yeah, some champagne. It's fancy. It's got that nice cozy.
I like this champagne because you treat it right. You get it a nice little sleeve right here. It keeps it nice and cozy.
Yeah.
And look, you can hold it.
For on the go.
For on the go pleasure.
Nice. La Croix. Followed up with La Croix. We're Francophiles here. We love French sounding stuff. And La Croix, I dream about you every night. Or most nights. And then what's that other thing we got there?
Right here?
Yeah.
This here is the Holy Bible.
That's the Holy Bible. Here,
It's a good read.
May I?
Yeah.
The Holy Bible. Get in there. Yes, you can see it. Holy Bible. We're men of God on this show, but not necessarily the Judeo-Christian God. Speak for myself. More like what philosophers talk about when they talk about God. You know, it's kind of like the Force in Star Wars. Like midi-chlorians. It's the thing between all of us. We like talking about that type of stuff. Sure,
midi-chlorians, sure.
So what's your faith then? Are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Did you grow up that way?
I did, yes. I grew up going to church every Sunday, Sunday school.
Really?
All the way up until today. Nice.
Yeah. Cool. Right on. And that's a pretty big part of your life then. Is your fiance religious?
She was not when I first met her, but now she is, and she's got a wonderful group of friends that are all in her Bible study.
Oh.
And I mean, they exploded over the last 2 years of just her friendships, and it came together because of the Bible. So
is that still part of the mission as a Christian in real life? Like, is it still? Because I mean, you look throughout history, like you couldn't be any kind of religious. Well, I guess specifically I'm talking about like European Christendom. You couldn't call yourself a Christian if you didn't convert people, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So is that still the thing?
I think it's just more still. I mean, they're still spreading the word of God. When we come to church, then they still,
that was not the word of God.
That was not the word of God. But the churches I go to, still at the end, they say, if you do have any questions or you would like one of us to pray for us, or you want to take God into your heart, you can stay after, and there's usually someone there who can pray over you. You can talk to somebody. So they're very open about if this is your first time to the church, we'd like to welcome you into our home. Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't necessarily say they're like dead on missionaries trying to find anyone under a rock. But I think they're just doing a good job. Church has always been big on community efforts. So every church I've been a part of, they've always invested in the community around them and then the people in their church.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's good. We don't, I guess the only people you really get coming to your door anymore are, around here anyway, are Jehovah's Witnesses. We had Mormons too for a little bit.
Yeah.
We had more, you could always tell the difference because Mormons looked like me, but a little more clean cut. And, Jehovah's Witnesses are folks of color. And I always thought that was interesting. That's just in Tacoma. I don't know if that's a thing. But that's what I noticed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, returning to the subject of what really is God in America, and that's money. Do you buy stocks?
I don't.
You know?
I consider stocks in the same category as gambling.
Yeah, me too. Nice.
Not necessarily being able to control what's going to turn out. Now, I'm not opposed to them.
Mm-hmm.
If I had more of money that I had to invest, if I had more money that was extra for me to invest in stocks, I would.
Yeah.
But I kind of moved my money around in other directions.
Right, because like you said, it's totally risky. Like,
Yeah.
even if, the money is what you use to put bread on the table and you don't have enough to just go fucking, buy stocks and pixie sticks or something, then, that's totally irresponsible, right? God, I need to get more guests like you on the show because, Nick was telling me to buy fucking crypto.
Yeah.
You ever consider buying crypto?
There was a boom for sure. I
Yeah.
would definitely say none of us would ever get on the train early enough for that.
No.
I mean, it's all right place, right time.
Oh, dude, you're so right. It always seems to me that unless you're that one guy who's on this clickbait article who's, oh my god, you bought Amazon for $1.50.
Mm-hmm.
The story of investing in single stocks is just missing trains over and over and over.
And over.
Dude, my friggin' COVID vaccine stock that I was stoked about, all the way down. So, god damn it.
But one of those might go up, but you don't know. It's just right place, right time. And,
so what I should be doing is not buying stocks because I'm, burning through the rest of my unemployment. Dude, I need to call you every time I get an impulse to buy.
I'll leave you one of these books. You can read it. They're nice reads.
God, fucking help me, please. Hamsters or guinea pigs?
Guinea pigs.
Guinea pigs? Why?
Childhood, friends had guinea pigs.
Yeah.
First thing I could think of.
They're just hardier too, right? Like they're
a little bit hardier. Hamsters, I think they're small, right?
They're super tiny. They're like
they're tiny.
Like that.
I mean, guinea pigs. I mean, they do that little.
Yeah, more personality.
And they eat little what are those alfalfa things?
Yeah.
They're like little pellets.
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
Chewing on them.
Yeah. They're bigger. They live longer. Hamster probably
do they live longer? I'll take it.
I think so. I would guess. I think bigger things live longer because hamsters strike me as the kind of animal that could die choking on its own fur.
Yeah.
Dude, that looks so delicious.
That's how I start every morning. It just the mix of the up and the down just works.
Just gets you fucking going, dude.
Yeah.
Perfect equilibrium.
Keeps me normal.
Love it, dude. That's some Wolf of Wall Street shit. But you doesn't buy stocks.
No stock for me.
So, all right. Socks are the new ties. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how do you think socks being the new ties changes, right? Look at that.
It's got Snoopy.
We love peanuts here at the Iridescent. How does that change in the Zoom call era?
From personal experience, I'm more animated. I've answered Zoom calls on my Peloton bike. I've done a bit where I've told them I'm on my way. I'm just biking over.
Oh.
I've done things where I just keep my camera off and I'll have a picture of Tom Brady on there.
Oh.
So I do something that's unexpected because I imagine people are sitting there on their Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Looking at everyone like, and then you get to JP's screen and there's a freaking party on. There's a cat.
Yeah.
I'm playing video games. I'm not even looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Or you got my fiance behind me just on her Zoom call. You never know what you're gonna get from me.
Nice. You keep them guessing.
I keep them guessing.
Yeah. Because that's the idea when you're accessorizing with something like a sock or a tie.
You can't do it on a Zoom call.
No. But what you're doing essentially is keeping them guessing because you're swagging out.
Right. I'll answer the Zoom call and maybe be in my Peloton gear.
Damn. So man, it really cracks the whole. That's brilliant, dude. I hadn't thought of that. Zoom calls, the possibility. It's not just a piece of fabric on your neck or your ankles.
What are you doing in your home?
Right.
That's the thought process.
Right. Or the internet, because you could just put up a picture of Tom Brady.
That's right. Yeah.
Damn. Fucking Pandora's box of possibilities. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Yeah. Nice. So now I want to ask you about your experience being adopted.
Mm-hmm.
Can you run me through that? I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I'm so foreign to it. Again, like, this is just privileged ass white kid right here. You know, my parents aren't super rich or anything, but I definitely grew up comfortable. So I just have no idea what that's like and don't even know how to ask that question. But if you wanted to share some of that, we would greatly appreciate that on the show.
Yeah, I think being adopted is a blessing, at least for me.
And where were you adopted from?
Guatemala.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I was born in Guatemala City, left in Guatemala City by my parents. Somebody picked me up, took me to an orphanage, and
how long were you in the orphanage?
I was in the orphanage 2 months. But during the 90s, there was a civil war in Guatemala, so there was a lot of chaos. So I imagine that might be why I might have been left, but I don't know for sure. But just during that time, the orphanages are always filled to the brim, and luckily, a single white mother from California wanted to adopt a kid from Guatemala, and I was the kid that was chosen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if she necessarily picked me because I was baby, but
yeah,
I think they just looked in the pile of kids and just chose me. So
shoot, wow. I mean, that's a blessing, so to speak. I mean, you're very fortunate for that. Do you have any early memories of Guatemala, like pre-adoption? Yeah.
No, I think maybe the earliest memory I have is being a kid in Pennsylvania, visiting family on a bed at night. I think that's like my earliest memory I can think of.
Got it. Wow. So you were adopted by a woman in California. Mm-hmm. She was a single woman, so it was just you and her?
Single mom. She had a kid of her own who was 10 years older than me, but she was recently divorced. So he spent time with his father and then her. But early on, I think I caught him at the end of high school. Mm-hmm. Was when I started, when I was maybe 6. It was towards the end of high school. So then he went to college at UCSB, and then that's kind of our relationship. Got it. Okay.
And did you mentioned earlier when you were talking about what inspires you that you were a part of the system, and I mean adoption is a system, but I don't think that's what you're referring to. Mm-hmm. What do you want to share a little bit about that, or?
Yes. When I was 13, first day of 8th grade, 2007, I was taken away from my home on the basis that I attacked my mother. Long story short, I didn't do it. The police said I'd be out of there in 3 hours. 3 hours turned into 120 days in juvenile hall. Shit. And that's kind of where my life of self-motivation came from.
Yeah, 120 days, so 3 months. Days. That must have been pretty fucking rough, man.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience. I wouldn't say it's the best experience, but I think it taught me just to keep my head down and invest in myself.
Yeah. And then where'd you end up after that?
Thankfully, so when you're in juvenile hall, you have court dates, but they kind of lost me in the system. Just kept saying, come back in 2 weeks, we'll have another court date. And they just kept doing this for 120 days until a social worker found my case file and was like, this kid doesn't belong here.
Wow.
Because I wasn't getting in trouble in juvenile hall. I was just... Yeah. They had a level system, D through A.
D through A. Okay.
A being the best. If you're in D level, you like only come out of your cell for 1 hour a day.
So how do you get in a D level? Is that just you're getting in fights and shit?
Fights, pounding on the doors.
Yeah.
Rioting, things like that.
Yeah. Wow.
But anyway, so I was this kid on A level for 120 days. Never got in trouble. Mm-hmm. The staff that worked there clearly were like, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
I was just some regular white American kid.
Yeah.
Not white, but I feel like I am. And
okay, interesting.
And they found my case file and he said, "Hey, let's get you out of here." I didn't have any family. Again, I'm adopted, so
yeah.
They sent me to a group home because they still, a lot of therapists and psychiatrists thought I had bipolar disorder. But
well, I mean, you were getting. I mean,
they were throwing me around, and I was never angry. I just chose to be quiet because I was like, they're not going to listen to me.
Yeah.
And I was 12, 13. I didn't know how to correlate, hey, I'm neglected, or hey, this is what's actually happening. So to them, they just see this kid who's sitting there angry and quiet.
Yeah.
And it's just because I'm just waiting for my train to end and get off this train, and get to my next stop. So they sent me to a group home, and just all boys that live there.
Yeah.
Ranging from...
This is in California still?
In California, Northern California.
Okay.
and they're ranging from 4 or 5 years old up until 18, until you're out of the system.
So how long were you there?
I was there for a year and 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you ended up with the family you have now.
In foster care, yeah.
Wow. Okay. And your current family, your family is great. You have no complaints. You love them.
No complaints. Love them, and they're my foster family. They never adopted me, but I think it was because I was too close to 18, so it didn't really make any sense.
Okay.
But they sat me down and said, "Hey, you're family to us forever." And
yeah. That's awesome.
I love them.
I mean, you alluded to the harms that are done to people's psyche in those situations, and for people who don't get help or get lucky, those scars, that harm can compound infinitely until they're in and out of fucking jails and systems like that their whole fucking life.
Yeah.
Shit, dude.
When I was in there, I saw the same kids, because 120 days, 4 months.
Yeah.
I would see them every 3-4 weeks. They would come back, same thing.
Really?
They would they would stay for 2 weeks,
mm-hmm.
then they get in trouble again, they're back in there. And it's just like, I'd have the same roommate 2 or 3 times during my stay.
Yeah.
Actually, my last roommate was one of my first roommates.
Right. Okay.
Like, when I was leaving,
yeah,
he had just came back. It was his first night back. It was insane. I couldn't believe that he was back already.
Right.
How can you get in trouble so quickly?
Oh man, well, who knows what kind of broken situations they're from.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, are you still in touch with anybody you knew in juvie?
No, because I never really exchanged information with them at that point, because
Yeah.
I didn't have a phone or anything, so
Sure.
there's not really any reason to.
Yeah.
But I still have. There's this kid who burned his father's house down.
Oh my god!
I don't know if he's out there somewhere, but you got to rethink your decisions there.
Yeah,
and
damn.
His dad would send him the Harry Potter books.
Oh wow!
And so I have all his books because he didn't read them. He's like, forget reading, and so I was like, well, what's Harry Potter? And I read the series through the 4 months, and it like transformed me into like this like weird mental state where I was like, I felt like I was in Hogwarts.
Holy shit!
So I would say Harry Potter kept me sane.
Damn, dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, J.K. Rowling, you're transphobic, and that's not cool. But you
helped me.
You helped keep this guy afloat, and that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Hogwarts, a mental fortress in a stormy, tumultuous time for you.
Seriously,
dude, that's awesome. I mean, it just fills me with joy to hear a story coming out of a fucked up system that doesn't end in tragedy.
Yeah.
And on the contrary, it's marvelous success. I mean, you got a job you like, you're getting married, you're living the fucking dream. You're reading books about how to become a millionaire with equity.
I hope to carry the ball as far as I can.
Holy shit, dude. Give this man the rock. Speaking of giving you the rock, after COVID, who knows if COVID ends. It might be here to stay. But after things have normalized, what are you looking forward to most when you get back out there? Bars or pickup sports?
Pickup sports, for sure.
Yeah. Dude, what's your go-to?
I would say flag football with you.
Love flag football, dude. Yeah, we play on a team. I'm actually wearing my jersey right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Flag football or pickup basketball.
For sure.
Those are probably my two go-tos.
Yeah. I miss hooping for sure. I'm gonna be so fucking bad at basketball when we come out of all this, dude.
You gotta practice.
I know.
Go find yourself a hoop.
I know. I just don't want to embarrass. The thing is, in pickup basketball, because that's the ultimate like play with strangers game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the name of the game is like have a thing. For those of us who didn't hoop in high school,
never call a foul too.
Never call a foul. Be tough. Play defense. Hustle.
Right.
And then if you do get the ball, like have a thing that you're decent at. You know?
Or you pass it like me. When I play pickup basketball at, say, LA Fitness, I see this, like, you checking out the other guy. This guy's going to be good because you all warm up while you're waiting for the game, right? So you're checking out the competition. That guy, I want him on my team.
Yeah.
And I'm always the guy that, like, this guy looks good. But what it turns out to is I'm just the garbage guy. I'll get you the rebounds. I'll pass you the ball. But as soon as the ball's in my hands, I take one shot, they're like, we're never passing them again. I'll airball. I'll miss 40 shots in a pickup game for a 3-hour session. And I'll slowly see teammates choosing not to pass me. I could be wide open, standing under the hoop, and they won't pass it to me.
Oh, man.
And so it doesn't hurt me. It hurts me inside, but I know that if I work hard, I'll get the ball by a rebound because not everyone's perfect. And I'll get my points that way. But yeah, dude, it hurts because I see them pass me the ball. This guy's gonna ball out first pass of the game.
Yeah,
goes right through my hands, or I'll miss it, and then after that, it's just we're never giving this guy the ball. And the only time I get the ball is if I freaking jump over 3 people for it.
Yeah, well, know your role, right?
So I got to know my role. I'm just the rebounder. That's it.
I love it, dude. Approach pickup basketball with humility.
That's right.
You know what I have been playing though, because it's a little more like quarantine friendly.
Okay.
Social distance friendly. I've been playing a lot of spike ball.
Spike ball. I do love that game,
dude. That's because you can play that masked. You can play that outside. You don't touch each other. You know, so it's quarantine appropriate. It's a good game. Me and the roommate here are trying to go pro.
Okay.
So yeah, support my journey to professional spike ballage.
I believe it.
Yeah. What is your dream job?
Some people might laugh at me.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Some people are probably sitting at home shaking their head because they know what my dream job is.
Okay.
It's a couple things.
Okay.
Late night talk show host.
Late night
talked about that before this.
Host. Okay.
I'm living vicariously through you because I enjoy what you're doing and I'm invested in what you're doing and I believe what you're doing. So there's that. I also have always told people what motivates me is money and power. Okay. And not necessarily for the bad things, but I want to use...
want to make that very clear.
Not for the bad things.
Not for the bad things.
Yeah. When I interview, I will say money and power and pause, and I'll see how they react. Because I'm trying to play with them.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, oh my gosh, this guy's like totally cocky.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's just I want to use money and power to turn around and help foster children behind me or kids who might be going through my same thing, because there's statistics out there that only 2% will make it to college and graduate in 4 years.
That have been
through the system.
Holy
Only
shit.
2% of kids.
Dude, fuck the 1%, man. You're part of the 2%. That's crazy. And you want to help.
And I want to turn around and help them because they gave me a packet, this thick of paper, just all scholarships. And it's only for children who go through foster care.
Right.
And so, I mean, going to a college that's $56,000 a year.
It was way too expensive. Way too expensive.
I was able to get 3.5 years for free. I still had to take out some loans, but 3.5 years of $56,000 every year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's insane the amount of money that's being given to these children, and a lot of children don't have the opportunity to even apply for it, or they might not have the resources, or
they've been so fucked up,
or they've been so messed up that they just don't have the motivation to go do it. So I definitely want to make it more available, and so tweeting that as like a scholarship fund would be amazing.
Right. So the dream job would be something like to be a philanthropist, essentially. Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's noble. That's awesome.
Yeah.
When you said the money and power thing in an interview, that reminded me of one time I didn't get a job because I was asked a question along those lines.
Yeah.
And I said something fucking corny as shit along the lines of it was a sales job for this company, UniFirst, which is probably the least sexy sales thing. Least sexy. Yeah, I just wanted a job at the time.
UniFirst.
UniFirst. Yeah. At the time, I thought, I need a job because that's the only way to do things. So let me get this 9 to 5, put a tie on, go drive out to. I mean, their venue was just the most depressing little warehouse in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, they interviewed me and I said something along the lines of personal development. And they gave me so many opportunities to like recant and tell me, no, what we want to hear is that you're a go-getter who wants to make all this money and stuff. And, and in my dumb little brain, I just couldn't not be honest and say, no, I'm not really, money's cool and I'm glad there's a good incentive program, but that's not really the end for me. But God, clearly this is why I don't have a job. I'm just not as savvy as you are. If there's one world crisis right now, and there's a lot of them, what that you could solve, that you could snap your fingers, wave your magic Hogwarts wand, and solve, what would it be?
Fighting, arguing.
Fighting and arguing. So
disagreeing.
Do you mean, what's that?
Disagreeing. Okay.
So specifically, would it be like armed conflicts abroad? Would it be polarized politics domestically?
That's a lot. I would try and solve just like disapproving views or like I would want the world to be more understanding and being able to listen to someone with a differing view and say, hey, that makes sense, and just have a conversation about it and not necessarily be this side or this side.
Right. So less Facebook civil war and more kumbaya.
Kumbaya, yeah.
Yeah, kumbaya. Have you ever ridden a camel?
I have, actually.
Yeah?
I have.
Where'd you ride a camel, John Paul?
I rode a camel in Dubai.
In Dubai?
I did.
You've been to Dubai?
I have been to
This
Dubai.
man's been to Dubai. How's
times.
Dubai, dude?
When you said Dubai, maybe 6 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I would have not known where it is. I probably still don't know where it is on the map.
Love it. Love the transparency.
But Dubai, when I was learning about it, because my fiance's parents live in Dubai.
Uh-huh.
Her dad's a pilot on
Oh,
Emirates,
very cool.
So they have to live out there.
Yeah.
Dubai I don't know what it means. I didn't know what it meant to me, but now Dubai is just, imagine New York City, but times 100. Times 100 bigger, times 100 money, times 100 people.
Yeah.
It's just this huge civilization ecosystem where there's rolling around in gold coins. It's insane.
Wow. Yeah. It always strikes me as sci-fi. Like, I see pictures and stuff. It just...
It's I'm sure there's some bad parts. I'm sure there's some normal parts. But to me, from being there twice, it's just a city rolling around in money.
That's sounds like a playground. Sounds like a fun place to visit a couple times.
Yeah, if you want to do like an indoor amusement park the size of Disneyland, they've done it. You want an indoor mountain that you can ski on? They've done it.
They have snow in that indoor mountain.
Yeah, you literally can snowboard, ski. There's a chairlift inside, and there's snow.
Holy crap.
It's insane.
Wow, yeah. That's a fairyland brought to you by lots and lots and lots of oil dollars.
Yeah.
So what is the bougiest thing you did in Dubai? It's certainly not riding the camel. That seems pedestrian.
Might be pedestrian there.
Yeah.
I'll give you top 3.
Top 3, okay, love it.
Went to an all gold bar.
All gold bar.
Dink, dink, dink. Gold everything.
Everything. From the glasses to the lighting to the stool you put your ass on, it was
Probably
all gold.
was drinking gold. I don't even know.
Oh my god!
And it was just like on top of this steakhouse on like the 100th floor or something. And you don't have like this amazing. I mean, you have a view, but it's not amazing because you're in a desert.
Yeah.
So you're not looking out, and it's like Costa Rica. It's like city and then just
dunes.
sand.
Yeah.
And
why do you want to look out the window when everything's gold anyway?
That's right.
Yeah.
That was an amazing experience.
Wow.
Indoor snowboarding. I mean, just to be riding a snowboard in the snow in the desert.
I can't even fathom how big a building that must have been. Like, what was? It's not a black diamond in there. It's got to be a bit of. I mean, was it a pretty legit slope? It wasn't just like
it
bunny.
wasn't like
hills?
a little bunny hill. It was legit slope. There's 2 slopes, and the building is huge. It's something that you see when you're driving from the airport that you just. It's probably as iconic as the Space Needle when you're looking at the skyline. Yeah. But it's just the big thing that looks like a mountain. Yeah. But you don't know what it is unless you know what it is, and it's not like shaped. It's not architecturally sound. It's just a big, huge slope.
It's a mountain in a box.
Building, but you just see it because it's so big.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's gnarly. Okay, so that's number 2. What was number 1?
Number 1 would be their water parks.
Okay.
You imagine Raging Waters or some sort of water park in the U.S.
Yeah, Soak City, Wild
Multiply
Waves.
it by 100. There are probably 3, maybe 4 water parks because they're in the desert, so you need those.
Sure.
And one of the ones I went to...
need might be a strong word.
Oh, you don't need, but it's nice to have.
Yeah, right, sure.
And I just remember that this water park I was in, and you literally do not need to leave the water. You stand on the cement because it's 115 degrees outside. You have to wear shoes. You can't be barefoot. Yeah. Even if you spray the ground with water, it's so hot.
Yeah, wow. Probably evaporates.
It evaporates. Yeah. So I remember it's just laying like in an inner tube, and you never have to leave the inner tube, and you just stay in it, and you go up these like conveyor belt things that go zzz up to the top, and then you drop down. Yeah. And you're sitting on this thing, and you're like cooking because there's no water in it at that point. You're just on this escalator thing that's bringing you up in this hot black inner tube where you're basically cooking until you go into the water again. Whoa. But it was amazing because I never had to get up.
That's crazy, dude. Holy shit.
And that's probably the one time I felt Like
Like
man,
a
this
prince?
is like I felt like a prince because I looked up and I'll
Yeah.
never forget this. I looked up at this big skyscraper. It's 120 degrees out. Everyone's cooking, and there's this window washer on a skyscraper window washing, and I'm here sitting in the lazy pool on my
Wow.
inner tube with the Coca-Cola in my hands,
Wow.
looking up, and this guy's window washing.
Holy
and
shit.
I just felt like, man,
That's
like,
the dialectic in a nutshell.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, here
That's
I am
Mark's
laying in the
rolling
water.
over in his grave.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
I'll never forget that.
Sounds like a sick ass water park.
It was a cool water park.
I'm just curious. Did they have a wave pool?
They did have a wave pool.
Was it like a wave ocean?
Let's say there was enough water that I was uncomfortable.
Like you could get lost. At
Like
sea.
you could get lost, and there was no way you could go really deep. Like it was just so like
That's crazy.
it was just up in your face.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Well, you'll get to go back to Dubai. It sounds like. I mean, you're married.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I would be super stoked if you had a destination wedding in Dubai and you paid for all of that shit. But I wouldn't ask that of anybody.
That'd be a lot of stocks.
All right, everybody. That's all we have for you today. JP, dude, thank you for coming
Thank
on
you
to
for
my
having
show.
me. It's been fun.
Really excited to have you on, and I'm sure we'll have you back on. I only have so many friends. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Hit us with the feedback. Let's beat the shit out of this algorithm. Every time I'm going to plug that, hit that like button, subscribe, share, recommend me to people. You know, you don't want to keep all this ear candy to yourself. You know, we're doing big things here at the Iridescent Show. We're trying to make it big, get sponsored, sell out, bro now. Parker Thomas Brisebois, John Paul Campbell. This is the Iridescent signing out. Peace!